Right guys, welcome back to the channel. Thought I'd take you through like more of a day in the life than just a full day of eating today. It is a training day, so I might record that. I have had a few comments of people asking me to go over my training because I said I would, so I will. I have ordered a microphone so I can actually talk through my session while I'm in the gym. It hasn't arrived yet. If it doesn't arrive today, I might still film the training session and just do like a voiceover for today. Then I might do a separate video going over why I structure my training the way I do. But we'll see. Today is a day in the life just because there's a bit more to it. My morning routine stays the same. I get 2,000 to 3,000 steps in. It's horrendous weather outside, so I do it on my indoor treadmill today, which is quite nice because it means I can have my morning coffee with me whilst I do my steps and fill my dressing gown. And then after this I'll get meal one straight away. Unlike the diet when I was trying to push the meal a little bit, now I'm trying to get it in quite fast. My food has been upped to 3,700 calories, which is good on a training day. So it's 550 carbs now on a training day, hence why I have started eating a bit earlier. I was having 4 meals that are quite big and one like snack, which is like a yogurt, a bit of fruit. That yogurt and fruit meal is still my smallest meal, but now it's bigger. Today it won't be my smallest meal, you'll see it. But yeah, so what I do first is I wake up, get my usual morning routine in, which is the steps like I said. Get my hydration formula in, which is like a litre of water, or a litre and a half of water, with 8 grams of HydroFlow, and have my coffee. And then what I'll do is I'll sort myself out a little bit. I'll probably still be in my dressing gown, and I'll catch you guys for meal number 1. So before I do meal 1, I thought I'd take you through my supplements, because on my 4 days of eating, I don't usually go over these. I usually just glance. So there's really not that many. What we have here is their phase. I'll bring her up a coffee now. She's still in bed. She has actually, before I start, she has this coffee. Just instant coffee, because that's only got 35 milligrams of caffeine in it. So those of you that are like trying to reduce caffeine or caffeine sensitive, recommend it. I don't. I like to use beans, so I've been to gut machine. I spend too much on coffee, but it's my favorite. I love coffee. I love the ritual around it. So yeah, she might have a normal coffee later on in the day, but in the morning she likes a weaker one. So I sometimes nick that when I don't want like a massive coffee rush, or I don't want decaf, because decaf's a bit boring. So yeah, anyway, so we have vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams. We have 3 grams of omega-3. We have 4,000 IUs of vitamin D3 and 1,000 milligrams of K2. And then I take either a third of a scoop of that, which is about 4 grams, or I take about 4 or 5 grams of psyllium husk. Today I fancied that because it's got a nice flavour to it. Does it help? I think so. Just keeps you regular and all that sort of stuff if you are struggling. I mean, I have a very high fibre diet anyway, not very high, but I have quite a high fibre diet. I have probably about 500 to 700 grams of fruit a day on average, and probably about 300 to 500 grams of veg a day, and then lots of oats, and don't have much wheat anymore. So my fibre is quite high. I just find it helps that little bit more. Yeah, things are ticking along nicely. I'll catch you guys for number 1. So I also forgot to say I was 166.1 pounds today. So I think my lightest was 151 point something. I was 152 to 154 on stage. So a good 12 pounds up, 13 pounds up, which is good. It's been about 5 weeks now, come Saturday. So the initial rate of gain was intentional to gain quite a bit of fat just initially. And then it's been like a slow rate of gain until now. And it's still about a 1 to 2 pound rate of gain for the next few weeks, just while we settle down. Obviously, I'm still not recovered from prep. And then once we are feeling a bit better, that's when I'll start doing the normal £0.5 to £1 a week rate of gain. But for now, it's still 1 to 2 pounds. So 3,700 calories today because weight's been stalling. Meal 1 is pretty much what I now have consistently, even when I'm in work on the work days. And that is basically a yogurt meal. We have 50 grams of oats, an apple, pink lady, of course, blueberries, raspberries, and a bit of honey on top. I also use vanilla flavour drops because I haven't got that much honey, because my calories don't really allow for that just yet. Whilst as my appetite does start to decline, I think honey will probably increase. I think I saw this as like an inspiration from that Kai and Fit. Is it Kai and Fit? Anyway, that Instagram person. I've been having very similar meals, but I forgot oats go well with yogurt, and then I thought I'd give it a go yesterday, the day before yesterday, and it was really, really, really good. So yeah, shout out to him. Not that he needs it. This is my first meal. It's 7:30 now, so I'll have this. I'll do some work for 2 or 3 hours, and we'll have meal 2 with Faye. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to waffle on too much in this video because there's a bit more to it than just a full day of eating. I don't want it to be 40 minutes long. So I'll catch you guys for meal number 2. So meal 1 was done. It was lovely. Like I said, the oats in the yogurt meal is just like unreal. But for now, for the next 2 hours, I'm spending my time here in this very, very messy room. It's our spare room. It needs a lot of work doing to it, but it's like a temporary office for me at the moment. It's even more messy than normal at the moment because we've got a festival in 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks yesterday. So we got all the festival stuff out last weekend just to go through it all. So that's all kind of living here now for the next 4 weeks. I'll be doing this for about 2 hours now before the next meal, which I'll have a Faye. So I'll catch you guys for that meal. So guys, first block of work is done. We have a meal 2 now, which Faye has kindly prepared for us, which I'll show you now. This meal 2 for me coincides with Faye's meal 1. So we might as well have it together. So it's quite a nice thing to do. This was my smallest meal. So my first meal, as you saw in previous videos on training days, was oats. And then my second meal was literally just like 300 grams of skyr with a bit of fruit, just for a protein hit before meal 3. But now, as you saw, I had that yogurt bowl for meal number 1, because I have oats later anyway, so I didn't want like 2 big oat meals. I don't need it anymore. My appetite is slowly going back to normal. So this one now is still my smallest meal, but it's bigger than it was. So I'll put the macros on screen as always, but what we've got is, we've got a wrap with bacon, hash brown, egg, and I'll have ketchup on mine. Faye will have hers with cheese, and then we've got a little bowl of mango each. We just do any sort of fruit. I'm not particular with it. Same with that yogurt bowl in the morning. Whatever fruit I've got, I'll throw in. So we had a mango, and it looks very, very nice. And I'll also have the goat of cold drinks, a Pepsi Max. Do you want a drink?
No, I'm good, thank you.
And that'll be that. After this, we have some boring things to run, so I'll take you with me for a bit. Mainly the shopping, really, isn't it? So we can get our meal 4, which we'll be having together, which we've not had for a while, actually. I'm like, oh, we've not had it since I was dieting, so that'll be exciting because there's a lot more of it. But yeah, this is this. So I'll have this now. We'll crack on with these errands, and then we're back in time for meal number 3, which will be my pre-workout meal, and then we'll go to train. So I'll catch you guys in the next clip. So the first on our errand list of very fun things to do today is I've got to get 2 of my tyres changed. Woo! So this car, which literally, like I said in the previous video, is probably worth less than £1,000, has cost me about £2,000 this year just to get things fixed with it. So it's driving me nuts a little bit. I should have just got a nicer car. But 2 new front tyres. It's because it's an Audi, it's an old Audi. So the tyres now are like £80 each for the low end ones. So, or the mid end ones, I can't remember. So whatever ones I've ordered, they're the mid ones, I think. £80 each. So I've got 2 of them, the front tyres, apparently the threading's going on the inside of them. So we'll do that now. The tyre place is really busy usually, so we'll see how busy it is. But they just need doing. And every time I go there, there's a queue of people, and I haven't got the time. So today we will, we will persevere, and we will get some tyres. And then after that, we're already in Conway. So after that, we'll go for a nice little coffee somewhere, and then we'll go and do our Asda shop. And then we actually need to go on the sunbeds. So we need, I don't know, you're that wonky. So we've got a festival in 4 weeks. 4 weeks yesterday, like I said earlier in the video, which I'm very excited for, but I didn't realise how pasty I was. It's not even that, it's not really the cosmetic, it's every time we go to festivals, we are like pretty ginger, and we get very burnt. But then what I noticed over the last couple of years is when I was going on sunbeds during diet phases, is that I wouldn't burn at all. So it's just getting a little base tan over the next 3 or 4 weeks, just maybe like 6 minutes today to get into it, and then work up to 10 minutes twice a week. And then hopefully we won't burn when we're there. We still wear sun cream obviously because we're ginger, but we just don't want to burn. When you burn in a festival, as if any of you guys know, it's like the worst. Like, it's going to bed when you're burnt and you're sore and you're on a shitty mattress. Yeah, it's not good. So I mean, it'll probably rain anyway here in Britain. But if it doesn't, then we will be there. But if it doesn't, then we will be. But if it doesn't, then we'll be prepared. Jesus Christ, Ben, get your words out.
The last 2 years were heat waves.
The last 2 years in this festival were full on heat waves, over 30 degrees, which for us in the UK is very hot. But yeah, I'll catch you guys at some point. So my tyres are required. They were £70 each for the cheap ones. I'll show you what they look like actually. It's nuts. So, I mean, they're tyres. I don't really know the difference between budget ones and the expensive ones, but that's nuts. £70 a tyre. On my last car, you could have got the high-end ones for 60 quid. But that's the downside to having an Audi, even though it's an old piece of shit. It's still an Audi, so pieces cost a lot for it, or parts, I should say. But done that, been to Asda, just been on the sunbeds. And that's it really. We're not going to go for coffee now because we've got too much work to do. It's not actually a work day. I'm not actually getting paid today. It's actually a day off. I've just got loads of work to catch up on. So guys, we've made it back. We are still in the process of playing Tetris with the fridge. And Faye is weighing me out some dates. I have 60 grams of dates with this meal. That'll do, 65. Yeah, because the seeds come out. They're like over 100 calories, I think, which is nuts for like 3 dates. So if you're ever struggling to get calories in, dates, and they're healthy, but the calories will be there anyway. I've also got the cream of rice, which you'll see the like amounts here. I've got a banana on top, which is a very, very ripe banana. Would you guys eat that? I prefer them like this. No, I prefer them in the middle. And then I've got like a whey paste. So the cream of rice I've got is caramel biscuit. No, it's not. It's custard cream. And then I've got a vanilla ice cream protein on top. And it's very, very nice. It's a bit like custard. It's like custard mixed together. So I have had it cold, but I've not had it hot yet. So when I was making it for the cold one, it smelled so good. I almost regretted pre-making it. But yeah, I think that's it for this meal. I think this is my highest carb meal of the day, or at least second, but you'll see yourselves. And then I have got 25 grams of intra, which I won't record, which also has 8 grams of HydFo again. And my 8 grams of creatine out of the day, 1 gram per kilo body weight. We're back in the car. It's not the most exciting scene. The whole video has been like me trying to show my day in the life, but it's on a day I'm trying to catch up with work. So we're about to go for a coffee now, which is nice. See my mum and dad and Faye. I didn't really show you around the tyres and that. Like the tyre place is always quite awkward as it is. So I don't really want to be there just like recording them doing my tyres. That's a bit weird.
You should have done.
And then after that we were going to go for a coffee, but we didn't. We went to Asda and the Sunbeds instead. And again, I'm not going to record that. I mean, if you want to see me do a grocery shop or a grocery haul for you Americans,
Or lying naked.
then let me know. Or lying naked on a sunbed. But no, don't let me know actually. Some videos out there. That meal was really good. It is better cold. And the reason why I forgot I had it cold, the main reason is obviously it tastes nicer, that's what you said. But it also like, you get so tired after a hot bowl like cream of rice or oats. Have you noticed that? So if I'm going to the gym in like an hour, I feel like knackered now. So next time I shall make it cold. So my face is all sweaty from the sunbeds. Gross, isn't it? I've only done 6 minutes, so I don't smell too bad. But I'm not perfect at the same time. What is this van doing? How's that wing mirror?
It's fine. Nice.
Jeez, that van was optimistic. So yeah, it's not the most exciting video, but I thought I'd kind of just explain what I was doing as I went throughout the day. It's literally just work, eating, and training. But that's how we live our lives. We're quite boring, aren't we?
We're so fun.
But we like it. Like we like doing that. And then obviously the downside is in the morning I've got all this motivation to record a video. Then during the day I'm so like rushed and doing stuff that every clip like with me about to eat a meal is literally just me like really like speaking really fast and then just shutting the camera down. It's why I need to get a new camera. I want to get a separate camera so I don't mind a camera recording me while I eat a little bit then. Whereas when it's my phone, I need my phone to watch YouTube because that's what I do when I eat, like you guys are probably now. So on the way to get coffee now with the family, like I said. I'll then go straight away and train. So I'm hoping to be in the gym by 3. So I've got a pump product, what's the word? A non-stim pump product pre-workout, Mega Pump by Conte, and it's very, very good. So I've got that. The coffee will act as a caffeine, even though it'll be like an hour before. I don't want caffeine too late. And then I'll try and record the session, even though I haven't got a microphone yet. So like I said, I will sort out, well, that should be sorted out soon. Last time I got a microphone, it didn't work because the charging port on my phone was broken, and it requires that. So now it's all fixed. And then and then we've got 2 meals after the training. The biggest meal besides, well, the second biggest meal of the day is a post-workout meal, which Faye will kindly prepare for me before I get home, because usually I get home and then I'm happy to do the cooking and cleaning with Faye, and then I've got another meal 2 hours later. But because Faye wants to play Valheim tonight, she wants to make sure we have the most time possible, don't you?
Yeah, we are playing Valheim tonight.
She's sitting there like, fucking hurry up. So she wants to play Valheim tonight, so I said, well, if you can get like dinner ready in time, sounds like an old domestic husband. And then I've got
he might allow me to play my game.
And I won't beat her. And I've got like 2.5 hours before the last meal. And then, yeah, obviously I'll shower in that 2.5 hours. We've got 2 hours of pure Valheim gaming. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for listening to me waffle. I'll see you guys on the way to the gym. And guess where we are? We are back in the car. This time I'm on my own. So we went for a coffee with the parents, and my sister was there as well. One of my sisters, I've got 3 sisters, with her youngest child, who's baby, pretty much, 1 or 2. Does it count as a baby? Like an infant either way. who's very cute, well behaved. I know they're not always well behaved in coffee shops. But yeah, so that was nice, caught up with them. But the downside to that sort of thing is when you don't see them all the time, it's it can very quickly, like, time just flies. So it's been about 40 minutes longer than I thought it would be. So I'm like, still, since prep, I'm still very much on like a schedule, and I hate it because like the routine is great, but it makes you anxious when you fall out of it. So now I'm an hour behind what I planned, and that's like just stressing me out a little bit. And that's just like it's from being on prep, but also from the symptoms of prep. Obviously the low testosterone, I definitely feel that. You know, when a man gets like middle age and they become like quite nitpicky around the house, and they start shouting at the family for little nitpicky things and become quite stressy, a bit like pissy. That's because of the low testosterone. That's one of the reasons, is the low testosterone, amongst other stressful, you know, hormones like cortisol. So obviously I've still got low testosterone, which I know I have anyway, because my sex drive is still non-existent, which is frustrating. But then you have to remind yourself that it's been 4 weeks since prep, which when you're living in it feels like a very long time. But if you look at it in hindsight, it's 6 months of dieting quite aggressively, getting very lean, so it's not going to recover in 4 weeks. But we're doing everything we can, eating good, gaining weight at a good pace, and we're training hard. And we still tick every box. And unlike prep, it's nice to have the energy to actually live a normal life. I'm just still not at that social stage yet. But anyway, on the way to the gym now. I've got Mega Pump in the back of the car. I've only done 6,000 steps, and my target is now 9,000. It was 10 to 12. Now it's 9 because of my hamstring injury. This nerve issue going down my leg, it's still very much there. I don't know whether it's caused by something in the spine, like a bulging disc, or whether it's caused by something in the back of the knee, like just overuse during prep, which has then led to like compression of the nerve, or like a bit of damage to the nerve. But yeah, I will be seeing physiotherapists and musculoskeletal professionals soon, but the waiting lists are months to years. The physiotherapist luckily is in a couple of weeks, but I know they won't be able to do much. Physiotherapists, like, some are very good, but if you go to like a public health one, they work with old people for old people ailments, and mine isn't an old people ailment. So they kind of, what I've noticed is you'll get different opinions of different physiotherapists, but they all are dead set in their way that is what's wrong with you, and then it ends up like contradicting what the other one said, or you end up injuring yourself more. So yeah, anyway, I'll take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, so I will show you all the session if I remember, and then I'll catch you guys on the way home when I'm hopefully a lot less anxious. I'll see you then. So guys, welcome to the voiceover. It's a different day, that's why I'm wearing slightly different clothes. I'm in my spare room, which needs a lot of work, which is why you probably see lads in the background, so I apologise for that. So for this voiceover, I thought I'd explain just the exercises themselves. So the first exercise we see here, I'm watching it on my laptop. You'll see just my face on the corner, and you'll see the same footage I'm seeing. And the first exercise I'm doing here is a lateral raise. I'm doing a dumbbell lateral raise. So the reason why I do this is because it's early on in the session. So we know our ability to get short diminishes throughout the session. So if you are going to get a muscle short and prioritise that as an overload, do it early on in the session. Later on in the session, you want to focus more on lengthened range. In general, you do really with more than lengthened range, but I just make sure here that, as you can see towards the end of the set, I will start doing partials. So I still exhaust the muscle in its lengthened range as well. Every set I take is to failure. I also like the dumbbell lateral raise, so that's another reason why I actually do the lateral raise. So when I finish my first exercise, my shoulders are a lot warmer and I'm ready to do a compound. So the first compound exercise to do is the side raise shoulder press. I do it after an isolation just because it makes sure my shoulders are warmed up and ready to go. I don't find the isolation laterals take anything out of my shoulder pressing or my compounds in general, so that's why I do them first. If I do lateral raise at the end, then I find that I am just starting to swing the dumbbells and not focusing that much on the actual muscle. So that's why I do it earlier on. Try it yourself. If it doesn't impact the rest of your session, great. The rest of my session still progresses. Would I be able to get an extra rep on this if I did it first? Maybe, but it's still progressing, so that's why I keep doing the way I do it. So this compound exercise, again, to failure. I don't go all the way down to lengthened range. I find that if I go below 90 degrees on the elbows, my shoulders kind of come out of the equation. It's all my chest and it's all my just ligaments and that sort of thing. Doesn't feel very good. So that's why I don't go super low on this exercise. I just make sure to control the eccentric and the concentric somewhat on every exercise I do. I really make sure to get the most out of the form I can. I watch every video back and there's always something I can improve on. So before you start moaning in the comments, I know there's things that I can improve on, and that's why I record my exercises. And the second compound exercise is the first major chest exercise, which is this Cybex chest press. Pulling some brilliant facials here. I like the machine because I don't have to load it with plates on the side. I still get a lot out of my chest. So that's why I do it, and I can still overload. I'm not quite at the bottom of the stack yet, so I've still got room to progress. I really focus on the stretch here, because that's where we know muscles are most responsive to hypertrophy in the current literature. Obviously evidence is still ever growing. Again, hit failure before, I say failure, it's muscular failure. When I can't complete another rep without swinging something or pushing my back out, then I'll stop. This back off set is a very, very high rep set. It's just because I prefer it and get a good feeling. I get an amazing chest pump. I just make sure on the higher up sets, do it yourselves as well. Don't rush the exercise. Don't make it really quick thinking, I've got to get 15 to 20 reps. Just take each rep at a time and get the most out of the set that you can. I only do 2 sets on most of my exercises, so I have to make sure that I get all out of the set. And that's a good mindset to have. Just think you've got 1 set and then you will get more out of it, trust me. I don't record or time the rest periods in between exercises or sets. I just go when I feel ready. That's why my exercises, that's why my workouts can sometimes take upwards of 1.5 to 2 hours on leg days. After this, that is basically most of my push work done. So I then go on to pull work, and I have very little pull work in this session. Again, reason being is my back's a strong point, so this will still see me progress and grow on my back without taking too much recovery demand to get on other sessions. So the first exercise here is a single arm pull down. Again, I focus on the short here, so even though it's later on in the session, it's the first pull exercise I do. So as you can see on this first set, I will really squeeze for about a second or two in that pause. I call failure when I'm just not getting decent reps. So I'll try and do a partial, and when it starts looking silly, that's when I know the lengthened range is pretty much fatigued too, and I will call it a day with the set. With this, I like to think to initiate with the actual lat itself. So on each pull, you'll see that I just pull with my lat as opposed to my arm. So it takes tension off the bicep and keeps it on the lat. I also don't disengage my scapula at the top like some people do. Reason being is, when you see me fully stretched there, that's my lat fully stretched. If I disengage my scapula, my lat doesn't stretch anymore. So it's almost a bit of a waste of energy, and it takes away from the lat that I'm trying to work and more into other musculature in my back, which I'll get out of the following exercise. So this is my compound exercise for my back, and actually my last exercise for my back. I'll do 3 sets of this. It's a cabled row. I'll do my best to keep upright as possible and minimize swing. You'll get a little bit towards the end just to lock out them reps. Again, I could fail towards the end and really swing to get the weight going, but I'd rather just get a couple of partials, not complete full reps, and just tire out the actual musculature as opposed to the momentum of the exercise. With the last set, which I didn't record, I focused a lot more on form, but I didn't record it. And that again is just to make sure that I'm nailing everything that I can. The first set I do get a bit silly with the form, but again, it's still quite tight, so you can see there's always room to improve. I like having a little bit of ego. And then the last exercise for my push, I do after the pull, just because if you do an exercise once and then you don't like it, give it a few times, because it takes a while to get used to it, like neurologically. So now that I'm neurologically adapted to this exercise, I know I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel that much on my upper chest, which I knew it kind of wouldn't based on the resistance layout of it. So I will go back to a cuffed cable fly or incline fly that I'll record at some point in the future. The tension drops off in a horrible place. I focus on a pause at the bottom just to really focus on the stretch and the length and range. I just don't like it. It looks awkward. As you see me doing it, it just looks awkward to do. And then my last 2 exercises are, as you guessed it, arms. It's an upper day. So I'll do 1 tricep exercise, 1 bicep exercise, and again, these are 3 sets each, all to failure, different rep ranges. I do a single arm push down here for triceps. I really like this exercise. It's like a crossover. It really stretches the tricep in the lengthened range, and I get a really good contraction in the shortened range. I just make sure to spend a brief pause, like not even a pause, I just make sure to stop the actual weight at either end. If I pause too long, it takes the tension off the muscle, it beats the object that would be in 1 set, and you end up just getting reps forever. And you'll see on the bicep exercise next as well. I just make sure not to turn it into a rest pause set, basically. I just stop for no more than a second at the bottom or at the top. And then again, after that, if I need to get partials, I will, or I'll just call it a day when you know it's failure. And you'll see that on this next exercise now, which is the bicep curl. I have a very, very low bench here, and that's just to ensure that my elbow stays behind my body the whole time, just to really focus, as is my last exercise, on that stretch position more than the shortened range. As my elbow starts to get involved and it starts trying to drive forward in order to squeeze the bicep more, that's usually when I call it a day with this exercise. Otherwise, again, you can get reps forever by just swinging your arms. But that's that. That's my session and me explaining why I do what I do with the exercise itself. But I will do a more detailed analysis on why I do what I do and why I do the number of sets I do and how I train and how the week is structured for my own recovery and to optimize my own performance. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip. So that's the session done. It wasn't a bad session. It wasn't as good a session as it's been recently, but it wasn't too bad. However, I'm not in the best of moods, as you can probably tell, because of this hamstring injury. It's like a nerve issue. So if any of you know what it is, let me know. But I think it's the nerve behind my knee. Whether it's a bit irritated, I don't know, from like overuse in prep, possibly. Hopefully it's nothing like trapped, because that's like a surgical procedure normally, and a long waiting list. But I thought I'd use a bit of foam roller today, thinking, oh, if it's tight musculature, then at least that'll ease it a bit. It's not. It's definitely the nerve, because now it hurts a lot more. And like there's like the pins and needles in a way. Yeah, the pins are tingling in my foot. It's a lot worse. So that's great. So I didn't do cardio today. Cardio's only 4 times a week now anyway, so it was 5 times a week on every training session. So I thought, well, I'll take it away from today's training session because it ain't feeling too good. It's worse it has felt, which is frustrating. I'll just like let it rest as much as possible now, but it is what it is. So the next meal is the meal that I will have with Faye. She will be preparing it because she's lovely, and it'll probably be ready when I'm home. And if not, I'll just help her finish it off. But if I don't film it, because she'll probably want to sit down and eat and watch something. We're still watching Dexter at the moment. Oh, I think the new episode of The Boys is out, so I'll probably watch the new episode of The Boys, which, as some of you agree with me, is just a bit compared to what it was. So guys, very quickly, this is the meal number 4. It's my post-workout meal. I think my second biggest meal of the day, but you'll see all the macros in that here. So Faye has kindly prepared it. We've got a steak, 500 grams of chips, asparagus, and I'll have 2 of them with 15 grams of jam, and there's Faye's there. So it's about 6:30 now. We'll have these and then watch a bit of The Boys and then have a shower in that, and then I'll catch you guys for meal number 5. So guys, it's actually the next day. I recorded a bit of like B-roll for the last meal, which is, as you probably guessed, as it always is oats. It was 120 grams of oats mixed with cream of rice. For the consistency, it also digests better, and it's got lower fat, so that's why I do that. As always, the macros will be here for it if they're not already being shown, and as always, the total calories for the day will also be here. It's about 3,700 calories, which is quite a lot on a training day. Rest days, as you saw in the last video, is still about 3,000, and I'm actually getting quite hungry on them days now, so it's a good sign that my metabolism is speeding up nicely. Like I said in the training clips, I will record a training video of like why my split is set up like it is and how you can program your own splits just in order to optimize your own muscle growth in terms of volume, intensity, that sort of thing. But for these videos where I do 4 days of eating, day in the life, that sort of thing, I do record a training video. I'll just be including the actual like tips and tricks during the session itself. Everything I do train is to failure, as you saw. But yeah, so I hope you found that a little bit informative. The microphone still hasn't arrived, and it's the next day. On my days where I'm off work and I'm not like working from home, or I'm not doing what I did in the video that you've just seen where I'm off but I've got work to catch up on, I do more interesting things. I'm not sociable as I used to be, but that's mainly because of prep. I am starting to become more sociable, so we've got a few events planned over the next few days. We've got a few days off, which is nice, and then we've got that festival booked in 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks now, so we're preparing for that. We're looking forward to that. It's a 5-day festival where obviously I won't be a bodybuilder for 5 days. I'll still be bringing meals and that, but I'll still be eating a lot of their meals too. But that's for a different video. So as always, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Please like, comment and subscribe. If there's anything in particular you want me to see, or any examples of 4 days of eatings or different calories or whatever, let me know. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.